या देवी स्तूयते नित्यं विबुधैर्वेदपारगैः सा मे वसतु जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती. The last evening we have discovered a great fact, and that is having many stories and many versions of each story about the one I is called samsaraha. So, whenever we read in scripture that samsara afflicts our life, we are suffering with samsara, there we have to recognize this. What is that? Having many stories, many versions of each story about the one I, aham, that is samsara, nothing else. Wife is not samsara, husband is not samsara, home and hearth cannot be samsara. Any aspect of the world is not samsara. Also we understood yesterday, Vedanta must be understood in simple terms. If not, we will not be able to understand those great teachings in our day-to-day life. We cannot apply them in our day-to-day life. We will end up giving them the status of great concepts, glorious concepts, but at the end of the day, they remain a concept to entertain our mind. They will not enlighten us. Therefore, Vedanta always must be studied in keeping with our life and living. That Vedanta which is unconcerned with life and living, however much we study, finally makes us concept-wise, not content-wise. Many people are only concept-wise people. They know concepts, that's all, not the content. Therefore, this must be the approach towards each of the words of Vedanta. If you open the textbook, samsara is described as kartrutva, bhoktrutva, sukhitva, dukkhitva, abhimanena, ihaloka paraloka gamanam samsaraha. Because of the identification with the doership, enjoyership, identification with the pleasure, identification with the pain, an idea that I am happy, an idea that I am unhappy. Based on all this, one's transmigration is called samsara. What did we understand? Actually, even this definition is talking about many stories. It is clearly talking about story of the I as doer, story of the I as an enjoyer, story of the I as the one who is experiencing pleasures. Also the story of the despondent I. So many stories. Story of I while here, story of I believing in some other lokas, innumerable worlds and insipid stories is called samsara. Therefore, first we must conclude all those stories into one story. So, the urgency is this, that we must have one story. Of course, thoughts and themes, plots and subplots, reactions and responses, roles and responsibilities, they may change, but story must be one. centered on I. They must not bring in a multiplicity of this I. That is the urgency. That is what we are expected to do. Bringing many stories into one story. That is the purpose of Vedanta. Why are you saying, Swami, this is the urgency? Because having multiple stories about one I will not ever allow us to know who exactly we are. Be attentive, be attentive. You are part of a discovery now. Don't think you are listening to a lecture. You are not a listener here. You are on a voyage, a discovery tour. Having many multiple stories with different versions will never allow you to come to understand exactly who this I is. People are lost in that game. Who am I game? Rather, who am I confusion? Naan yaar. Who am I? If you are asking Naan yaar, you should tell me. Why are you asking me? Naan yaar Swamiji. That you should know. Therefore, who am I, who am I, who am I? I am doing inquiry of who am I, will not work. But Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, you must always contemplate on this. Koham, naan yaar, main kaun hu? Ramana Maharshi said, you must become aware of this I. And how can that happen? I keep on chanting this, who am I, who am I, who am I? Or I will set it in a tune and sing aloud. Who am I, who am I, who am I? Ramana Guru says, who am I? Gross body, not I. Subtle body, not I. Casual body, that means causal body. Causal body, not I. Then, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What happens with all this song? You can arrive at who am I question properly only when you have one story. With 100 storylines, you can never understand this who am I. These many stories will create an identity crisis. Therefore, no clear definition, no clear direction, no clear determination is possible towards any significant aspect of life. We know, we announce, we think that peace is very important. But in our lives, are we determined towards peace? The way we are determined towards the accumulation of wealth, are we on the same line with the same amount of intensity? Are we committed to the pursuit of peace? In our day-to-day conversations, dialogues, etc., are we controlling our speech? Because maunena kalaham nasti. If you are silent in certain aspects, many problems can be erased just like that. If only you can be silent for 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds. It ensures peace. But are you really in that direction? Are you determined to be so? That 30 seconds wreaks havoc in your life. Life is disturbed not by big events, by those 30 seconds. Those 10 seconds, if only I can restrain myself, I will be peaceful. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that without any teaching. Your buddhi knows. But what is happening? Why such direction does not appeal to us? Why such determination comes not to us? Why those definitions which we already know do not help us? Because wherever there is this identity crisis born of multiplicity of the stories, clear definitions won't surface. The right direction always is obscured. Determination is not possible. Therefore, it must be very well understood by us that the urgency is not doing some sadhana, urgency is not gaining something in the name of spirituality. The urgency is to bring all those stories into one story. Actually, there is only one story happening. All others are but your imaginations. Only one story is happening. Coming to recognize that one story is the urgency, is the foundation for spiritual life. Just try to experience, try to see your own experience. I am going to show you that how many stories are going on right now about you. In one story, you are so attentive towards peace, contentment and happiness. In one story, right now that story is going on. In another story, some other story, you are apathetic to peace, contentment, happiness. Always it is not possible. It's okay. An apathy. That's another story. Yet in another story, you are against peace, contentment, happiness. When you are entering into unnecessary conflict, it is actually you are against to peace, contentment, happiness. You want to reject them. You are opposing the possibility of peace, contentment, happiness. Do you think all this is one story? No. In one story, you are a seeker of happiness. In another story, you are the worshipper of pleasures, sensuality. Don't you experience this? These are many stories, not one story. Therefore, Vedanta is asking us that from many eccentric stories come to one I-centric story. From many eccentric stories come to one story, I-centric story. Make this I the protagonist of the story. You are going to enjoy something, some food, some place, some scenery. Ask yourself that is this experience going to enhance the I? Is this experience going to nourish the I? Is this experience in any way beneficial to aham, or is it only beneficial to senses? If certain experience, certain bhoga is only limited to the senses, etc., then become aware. Right there and then become aware. If I is not consulted, if I is not brought in, nothing is there in that experience, then be careful. You are going astray. Therefore, from eccentric stories, you must come to I-centric story. Able to understand what I am trying to indicate? Vedanta tells us now that only when you are I-centric, aham pradhana, then only you can really think, rethink, recalibrate about the most important aspects of life. Otherwise, it is not possible. It is not possible. Therefore, This is the crux now, that I must always think about that one story, as well as I must give myself an opportunity to think, rethink. Yes, Swamiji, we understood something now. You said thinking. Yes, correct. We will start thinking now. Wait. Thinking is not that easy. Very difficult job. Swamiji, we keep on thinking and you are saying it's a difficult job. Yes. The coming and going of thoughts is not thinking. What we call thinking is but the movement of thoughts. Thinking is different. What happens inside is thought. What you do to that thought, how you respond to that thought is called thinking. Understand? Therefore, we have to think. And how? Swadhyaya is the only medium through which all our stories culminate into one story, and Swadhyaya is the only medium which helps us think. Swadhyaya. Repeat once. Swadhyaya. Veda says Swadhyayo adhyetavyah Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. This Swadhyaya must be our motto now. Swadhyaya gives us an opportunity for a meaningful communication with ourselves. Therefore, taking refuge in Swadhyaya is the first step towards happiness. What is Swadhyaya? Generally, people understand the Swadhyaya to be a self-study of different books belonging to spiritual genre. Self-study. Simply buying few books and without the guidance of any guru, you buy and you start reading those books. All that can be seen there is they belong to some genre called spirituality. Reading them yourself. People think that is Swadhyaya. Self-study is Swadhyaya. But Swadhyaya is not self-study. Swadhyaya is study of the self with the help of wisdom literature. Study of the self with the help of wisdom literature. When you are reading Ramayana, if you are reading Ramayana to know about the story of Ramachandra, then that is not Swadhyaya. That is like reading any other book. Like your children are so interested in reading Harry Potter. This big book they complete in 2 days. I know few children here, they have completed that book in 2 days. This big is that book, Harry Potter. You are reading Ramayana for 1 year. Not in 2 days or 1 week, 1 year, whatever, is just like that. Swadhyaya of Ramayana is different. You are reading Ramayana not to know Rama's story, but with the help of Ramachandra's story, you are studying yourself. Study of the self with the help of, with the support of wisdom literature is called Swadhyaya. What is study of the self, Swamiji, again? What is that I should study about myself? Study of the self implies self-observation and self-analysis. In this event, in this situation, Ramachandra behaved like this. In this given scenario, this is the behavior, very glorious behavior of Bhagavan Rama. In my life, in such situations, which may not be the exactly same situation as in Ramayana, but in my life certain situations are there which has a hint of that emotion. Rama left throne. He renounced throne, correct? Of a samrajya. But our life, also has few episodes, few events where we are required to renounce something for no fault of us. May not be that throne, one chai, a coffee, or a small lunch, dinner, etc. Can I cheerfully say, okay, I don't want this. If somebody wishes to have, it's okay. Can I cheerfully be so? If you are studying yourself, self-observation, keeping Ramachandra and his divine story as the background and support, if you are studying yourself, that is Swadhyaya. That is Swadhyaya of Ramayana. So to Mahabharata, so to 101 books. Rama is described in Ramayana as Smita Purvabhibhashi. Smita Purvabhibhashi. He is always cheerful. Rain or shine, his cheerfulness has no ups and downs. It is always same. Purvabhibhashi. Before someone greets him, he greets them. He is the one who initiates conversation first. He is not the one who sits just like that. If someone comes and says, hello, how are you? Then only I will talk. No. Moment he sees someone, cheerfully he greets them. Ramachandra. You read Ramayana and you understood Rama's trait to be so. Our Rama is very great. He is always cheerful, etc. And there, period. That's not Swadhyaya. Can I also be so? Can I also be cheerful? Can I also maintain my smile? If you are analyzing yourself with the help of that description, it is Swadhyaya. We may not really imitate Bhagavan Ramachandra in all episodes of life, but begin with small things. Smita Purva Bibhashi. Kya jaane wala hai isme? How easy it is. But I see people. Sometimes we have to implore them, please smile. Now also people are serious. See, why you are not able to smile? Do you know the reason? You are in some other story now. If you are in this story, it is quite natural for you to resonate with me. But into some other story, that how can I smile with so many issues unresolved in requirement of meeting 101 things? Another story, another story. So we have to consider those small things first. And slowly we should try to follow them by analyzing ourselves. Don't imitate Rama. Don't imitate Ramachandra. That will not yield any fruit. Understand Rama. Rama must become your Nepathya. And in that Nepathya, with the help of that Nepathya, analyze, observe yourself. Rama's life also is afflicted with 101 things. If I give you a very clear picture vividly, Rama's life, you will feel very happy that such problems you don't have. Such problems you don't have. One question enough. Who has abducted your wife? Tell me. Thank God, Swamiji, no one. Be happy then. And to regain her hand, Rama had to fight those demonic fellows. Are you ready to do that? Why, Swamiji, such a fortunate event? Why should we bother? So don't worry about all those. It's very difficult. But maintaining a smile, also a spirit of renunciation, not the throne, not Samrajya, but a small thing. Suppose in the office, when the promotion aspect comes, somehow that fellow became your competitor, and situation has come wherein you are to renounce it now. Something is favoring him, the boss is favoring him, so definitely he will get. Then cheerfully renounce. Don't worry about that extra status and few more dollars. 3 years ago, you were not in this position. You came to this and you are already earning something. So $100 more, $1,000 more, it's okay. Even if you don't get, you can maintain status quo. Be happy with that. I am not discouraging you. See, if some injustice is being done, fight rightly. But have the spirit inside. Okay, kya hone wala chodo. For the sake of peace of mind, nothing this is. Chod do. Leave it. Renounce. It's small things we have to practice this. And this self-observation and self-analysis. This is called Swadhyaya in the truest sense. Therefore, more and more we analyze ourselves and we observe ourselves with the help of Swadhyaya, we are actually opening up to ourselves. Opening up to ourselves. And only when you open up to yourself, you can understand life in much higher level. Much higher level. Otherwise, life is always viewed in most narrow sense. It is not possible for us to analyze, understand, appreciate, live life in that higher level if we do not open up to ourselves. And this is possible by Swadhyaya. So such thinking bursts the bubbles of the aspects that condition us. We are being conditioned so much. Swadhyaya helps you to burst that bubble. Let us see what exactly are the things that by which we are conditioned, that which obstruct our vision of life. We will come to that. So we have just understood that real thinking and rethinking is possible by Swadhyaya. We must learn to think in that way. Moment I propose this, there comes a voice in you opposing my proposition that, Swami, do you think we are not thinking about life now? Do you think we are not thinking about living now? Yes, we do. Right now we are thinking about life, and it's our experience. When we are thinking about some job, when we are thinking about some relationship, when we are thinking about different aspects, we are of course thinking about life. It's our experience, and experience cannot be negated, remember. The experience as such cannot be negated by anything. The factuality of the experience, something can be done about it, but not the experience itself. Sun rises, sun sets. This is an experience. The fact is, sun never rises, sun never sets. It is the earth which is rotating. You read all this, you studied, you wrote exams. In your 5th standard, you have understood this. But that will not change the experience. The appreciation of the fact will not change the experience, but gives you clarity about the experience. After studying and understanding that sun never rises and sets, still tomorrow morning you will see the sun rise at the exact time. So too you will see the sunset. Correct? Experience won't change. So I won't dismiss your experience of thinking about life. Not only you are thinking about your life, you are also thinking about your children's life. Added value. Yes, we do that. Here is the killer point. We are thinking about our life in a most confined way. in the confinements of certain programming. We are certainly thinking about life in confinements of certain programming that we are given in the formative years of our life. And that programming is 4G program, 4 generational programming, 4 generational programming. First programming is programming by the nature. Nature imposes certain programming on you. So certain programming works. And what is that? Ahara, Nidra, Bhayamaithunancha, nature program. Nature's programming you are subjected to. So whenever you are thinking about your life, somehow this is the background. Ahara, Nidra means comfort, Bhaya means fear and security, Maithuna is propagation, also association. I want to enjoy few friendships, I want to enter into few relationships, etc. all this. So you are thinking in those confinements. First programming. Second programming is programming that was conceived by your grandparents, programming which they had based on their circumstances and situations and their lifestyle, their understanding of life. Third programming is the programming that your parents have inherited from your grandparents and they have recreated it. Fourth is, now you enter the scene. The fourth is, you are still using those programs, your grandparents' programming, your parents' programming. They had some idea about life based on certain situation, based on certain geography, based on certain situation, circumstance, society and its role in one's life, etc. That's all that. But you are still living that. That society is no more. But that programming still runs. And of course your parents, that programming, that old programming you are still using. You are still stuck with some oldest program. And you are complaining, why my system is not actively working, Swamiji. I open one window, that's all, it gets stuck. I recently bought this Mac Pro M5 something, the best computer. Now I do 100 works at the same time, but my computer, my laptop never stucks because programming is like that. Now you are using that old program. That means you are being programmed like that and complaining that why my system is always stuck, Swamiji. And you call all that tradition because you know how to put on beautiful labels for useless things. Idellame tradition da. That is past. Past is not tradition. Past is not tradition. Tradition is using the insights of the past to look forward, not to look backward. If you are looking backward to those people whom you revere as rishis, you will discover one thing. Whom you are looking in the past, they were actually looking at the future. Standing here firmly based on their insights, you must look forward. Charayveti is the Vedic message. March forward, where? In your life. Now in the name of that stupid tradition, you are looking back because you cannot do otherwise. All that you can do is looking back because your programming is like that. Amma program. Amma program. It has become like that now. Why are you like this? My amma told. Now this fellow's age is 75 years. He says, no, in our house, my grandfather told me it should be like that. That's a programming. Yes, of course you have to revere them, take their insights. The way they moved forward, what helped them move forward, take that. And you move forward. Don't worry about their so-called ideology. But my observation, many people actually are stuck with that program because there is something called emotional inheritance. Not only you have inherited the wealth of your grandparents and parents, not only their ornaments, not only their houses, not only their real estate, but their emotions also you have inherited. Because you have not understood who am I. You have not dedicated an iota of your resource to understand this I. Because you are lost into many stories, you are not able to really come to know your emotions. You have inherited their emotions and calling them yours now. When it comes to ornaments, whenever you wear it, still you think it belongs to my ammamma. This chain, what I am wearing, my ammamma's chain. Whenever you tell others also, this ornament, this necklace, this ring, bangle, my ammamma gave me with so much love. There it is good, you are identifying all those things to be your ammammas or tatas, etc. But when it comes to emotions, you are not saying that. You are saying this is my emotion, which is not. Which is not. It is your ammamma's emotion. Many times when you are behaving in a peculiar way, it's not yours, it is your tata's behavior. It is tata who is behaving like that through you. Try to recognize, try to pinpoint in your day-to-day behavior. You will clearly see this reaction. Yeah, my ammamma used to do like this. My nanamma used to do like this. Then your ammamma, nanamma is living your life now. You are not living. And in spite of listening to so many teachings, you are not able to follow them because this story you are listening as yourself. And when it comes to following some other story, being governed by ammamma, nanamma's emotions, emotional inheritance. Therefore, you are still using such old program. And you are proud of it also, telling that's our tradition, Nothing tradition. Tradition is ever new. Tradition stands in past and looks at future. I represent tradition. I represent tradition. Come near me, you will never smell that rotten past. Always new, always fresh, always young in understanding, in discovering, in receiving wisdom. Always young. Someone asked me that, Swami, please tell me what is your best lecture so that I will listen to that. What is your best lecture? Then my answer to him was my next lecture. Because I am best tomorrow. I am on the journey of becoming best every day. Because I am not stuck with the programming. Whatever is useful in that program, I welcome it, I use it, but I am not stuck. I should have my own program because it is my life. It is your life. It is your life, not your ammamma, tata, their life. It is your life. Bhagavan gave it to you. You. You are unique in his eyes. You are as an individual, you are his beloved. Should you not live your life with that bhavana? But this programming will not allow that. So, first program is nature's programming. Second one is grandparents' programming. Third one is parents programming. 4G, now we are coming to 4G. 4G is the programming that you think you created for yourself, but which is actually created by the society based on its own definitions. It is being created by society. 4G. It gives you an impression that you are the author of that programming. Swamiji, I am designing my life. Society is designing your life. You are not aware of it. Every definition about peace is society's definition, not yours. Happiness. In the name of happiness, you are pursuing entertainment. Society's equation is that happiness means entertainment. Peace means prestige. If everyone is respecting me, that is peace. That is society's definition, not individuals. Contentment is to have so much setup to command. Society is giving that definition. So there is a programming which is authored by the society based on its own understanding of PCH, peace, contentment, happiness, and you are under the influence that it is you who is creating that for yourself. No. All this is revealed to you clearly only when you do Swadhyaya. Scripture tells you that you are under the influence, rather you are incarcerated by all these programmings. Therefore, you are not able to achieve that which is easily possible. Every saint is telling us, don't do anything, still peace is possible. Just be, happiness is there. They are saying that and we are not able to understand why. We are under the influence of such programming. Therefore, in the confinements of this 4G, you are thinking about your life. So, we can conclude like this. Our so-called way of thinking is a recreational activity with the recycled thoughts. Think, you are entertaining yourself with some recycled thoughts, recycled from 4 generations, and you feel it has some antique value. Now, to live a meaningful life, happy life, you are in requirement of a new program, very new program. The program which helps us move from competitive mind to a creative mind. Such programming we have to author with the help of wisdom literature. That is called Swadhyaya. It's not simply reading books. It's not finishing book, but finding an answer. Swadhyaya is very important, rather paramount in living a meaningful, happy life. The way we are living our life at present is with a shrunk scope of consciousness, very shrunk. And this shrunk scope of consciousness is the genesis of ego, swabhimana, and selfishness, swartha. These two, swabhimana and swartha, they are the conditioning factors which obstruct your vision. So we need to find a way to address these conditionings. Swadhyaya gives us many sadhanas to address this problem. Therefore, as long as We are conditioned by this duo. All our desires, all our dreams, all our definitions and all our destinations, they will be a mere influenced expression of swartha and swabhimana. We have a dream for happiness, right? It is quite natural and it is desirable also. But being influenced by the swabhimana and swaprayojana, swabhimana and swartha, this dream and this definition and the destination will be so cloudy. So cloudy. I dream of happiness, I want happiness. This very idea will be so cloudy and it's not definitive. Because we are conditioned, programmed. Why we are calling it conditioned, influenced aspect? Why are we saying so? Now see, sometimes we think happiness is possible by gaining these objects, correct? I want to be happy. How? By buying this car. By buying one more car. By buying this house with 7 bedrooms. I will be happy. That means your happiness is connected to objects. Yes or no? Yes. Some other time, you yourself, you, the person who believed that happiness is possible through objects, accumulation, in some other time, you are saying that happiness is highly subjective. You have related happiness to objects an hour ago. Now you are saying it is subjective, it is inside. And you want to believe that. Rather, you are forced to believe someone's saying that happiness is inside. Reading a book, finding happiness. Every page of the book is telling you happiness is inside. Yesterday you were pursuing the happiness outside. That means with objects happiness is possible was your equation, was your understanding. Today you are saying no, happiness is inside. Right? And tomorrow again you will go to the object. Those of you who have accepted that happiness is inside, have you stopped depending on objects for happiness? You can use object for comfort. I need this sofa for my comfort, but not for happiness. Happiness is inside. You have understood it. You are sure about it. Then have you stopped depending on more and more accumulation of objects for happiness? Go home and look at each object in your home. You have brought them into your homes not merely for comfort, in the anticipation of happiness. At least a dozen will be there. Even without them you can be comfortable, but convincing yourself that for my comfort this is required, you brought them in. All your wardrobe is the evidence for what I am saying. This lady says, I love this dress so much. I love this dress. I want to buy. And they bought it. After 3 weeks, it is gone to the wardrobe, and since 3 years, it is still there. That is the reason you should be careful whenever somebody tells you, I love you. Because after 3 weeks, they will keep you in the wardrobe. Never look at you. So, why are we not coming out of that habit of buying 100 things? Because happiness confusion. So you relate happiness sometime to accumulation, some other time immediately to renunciation. And you are not happy in accumulation, not happy in renunciation. You are not happy eating, you are not happy doing upavasa. There is something called Ekadashi face. Everyone is asking you, why are you like this? Ekadashi. Ekadashi is written on your face now. Are you happy doing upavasa? No, I don't know. Whenever I do upavasa, delicious things are cooked only on that day. I don't know why. So you are not happy in participation, you are not happy in absence of things. Not accumulation, not renunciation. What is the definition of your happiness? Tell me. You don't know. Most obscure definitions, unclear, cloudy, misty definitions. You have not arrived at the right definition of happiness. Happiness is not outside, happiness is not inside. Those who are saying happiness is outside, he is called a materialist. Those who believe that happiness is inside, he is a confused spiritual person. Then where is happiness? Pata nahi. Pata nahi. Therefore, based on this confusion, if you are chasing happiness, that very pursuit becomes more miserable. As I was mentioning yesterday, the pursuit of happiness directly, the pursuit of happiness as the goal of life is the recipe for chronic dissatisfaction. People who are looking for happiness in the name of spirituality, etc., you can see them highly dissatisfied. They are not happy people. They have a chronic dissatisfaction. Their faces are not happy faces. In fact, they have a poker face always. We cannot make out, we cannot understand what they are thinking inside. Spiritual face, poker fellows. All this is just because the pursuit of happiness itself is a wrong pursuit. Terrible goal it is. Happiness as the goal of life is not correct. Happiness is not possible that way. Therefore, please listen carefully. 2 sentences and we will conclude. In the pursuit of happiness, however hard you struggle, you will only gain few pleasures and some entertainment in the name of happiness, not the happiness. And finally, we will silently suffer the unbearable sadness of being happy. And this unbearable sadness of being happy is called shoka. Dukkha is different, shoka is different. Dukkha is, I am walking down and I slipped. That is dukkha. I have cold. That is dukkha. I have headache, headache, dukkha. Shoka is this unbearable sadness of being happy. Swamiji, where it is all going, we don't understand. What to do when we come to the fundamental truths? It is always paradoxical. Being happy and unbearable sadness, yes, that is called samsara. Samsaroyam ativa vichitraha. Ativa vichitraha. It is highly mysterious and hilariously mischievous. Highly mysterious, hilariously mischievous is samsara. Ativa vichitraha ayam samsaraha. Samsara is like that, what to do? So this sadness of being happy is the true mark of samsara, not some unhappiness born of certain bitter experience or a failed expectation. Please understand this very clearly. Not every experience can give you happiness, can make you smile, right? That's not possible. There are certain bitter experiences. Certainly it is. And because of such experience, we will become unhappy. That is quite natural. I am speaking and you are not listening, you are disturbing my talk. That experience gives me unhappiness. Will it or not? Will I become happy or unhappy at that time? Unhappy. And if I don't become unhappy, then I am stupid. I am not in keeping with that experience. I am not responding to that experience. No, you keep on disturbed and I will just say I am always happy. Then I am enacting. That is not possible. Somebody on the road crosses your car in a wrong way. You will become unhappy. You will not become a person who blesses him. Vardhatam, vardhatam. No, that is not possible. That is not to be humane. While in the car, you are listening to Vishnu Sahasranama. Somebody came in a wrong way. Then all Vishnu Sahasranama gone, That is the sign you are a human being. If you are lost into Vishnu Sahasranama and you said, I am still happy, then you are living a pretentious life. Experiences will make you unhappy. Nothing bad. Becoming unhappy based on that bitter experience, nothing bad. Rama becomes unhappy in certain episodes. Dharmaraja became unhappy. Draupadi ji became unhappy. Pandavas became unhappy. You can read Mahabharata. Episodes are there where all the other brothers and Draupadi ji berating Dharmaraja. Because of you all this happened. That is how the emotions are. Nothing bad. But they come back to their equipoise. This is how human life is ruled by, governed by laws. And all Mahatmas followed these laws. Vivekananda did not eat through his nose, right? Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, etc., all these saints never drank water through ears. They were drinking water through mouth. Vivekananda ate through mouth. And all these Mahatmas inhaled, exhaled through nose. That means they were respecting the law, natural law. And the natural law is saying you will become unhappy with some bitter experience. So too, when certain expectations are not met, you will become little unhappy. That unhappiness is not samsara. This is the point I want to make. That unhappiness you must not count as samsara. Samsara is not that peripheral. Samsara is deeper. Shoka is samsara. That means the unbearable sadness, being happy, sadness of being happy is samsara. Swamiji, how to understand this? You are proposing such terrible thing. Being happy and sadness at the same time? Yes, yes, yes. You have to discover that. And I am here to assist that discovery. Samsaraha ativa vichitraha. Be careful. Try to see what I am saying now. Being stuck in a space where nothing is urgent but everything requires doing. Being stuck in a space where nothing is really urgent. Nothing is really urgent. But everything needs doing. And doing that, you feel happy. Doing that, you feel happy. You feel happy doing that, owing to the 4G programming. And the consequences of dereliction and the delay of such doing is entirely upon your head. Nobody will take that. Nobody can share that. It is on your head. It is for you to bear. Therefore you are sad. You are happy doing something, and a delay in such doing throws sadness on your head, and it is yours to bear. You become sad. You buy the ticket to this movie, you go there, and after few scenes you will start feeling sad. Instead of coming here, we could have gone to that park. We could have saved this money. Sadness is coming already. Instead of coming to the satsang, could have remained at home and watched this movie nicely. The Swami said he will teach something, but he is confusing me so much. This confusion is a blessing. This confusion is a blessing, because this leads you to clarity, your own clarity. I am not giving you some 5-point program. I am giving you a route map. If you are confused now by my words, blessed are you. If you feel a sense of clarity dawning on you, be careful. You are missing something. Let that confusion be there. So I repeat, being stuck in such a space where nothing is urgent and everything requires doing, and doing it you find happiness, and the consequence of dereliction and the delay of such doing is entirely yours to bear. Therefore you are sad. That is called samsara. Ativa vichitraha ayam samsaraha. Therefore, just realize it. There is no magic spell to free you from that samsara except swadhyaya. Because swadhyaya gradually shows you where you are stuck. Swadhyaya gives you an opportunity of self-observation and analysis. Swadhyaya also gives you a way to progress further. Gradually, shanaihi, shanaihi. This is our mantra. Slowly, slowly. No overnight enlightenment business. You need not become enlightened. First become lightened. Lightenment is what we require, not enlightenment. Our walking towards Shreyas is important. Our understanding of Preyas is important, not suddenly moksha or something. Shreyascha, Preyascha, Manushyametaha, Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha. Kathopanishad, Yamadharmaraja is saying to Nachiketa, hey Nachiketa, to everyone Shreyas comes and Preyas comes. They approach the individual. The man of intellect chooses Shreyas, and a Mudhamati, fool, chooses Preyas and is lost into most unfortunate transmigration. Therefore, it is our requirement. We should cheerfully, naturally choose Shreyas over Preyas. That must be our sadhya, lakshya, not moksha. Don't bring those words. The words are not good for you now. Those words have corrupted you already. Because what we are not qualified, if we are too much thinking about those words, that word brings in a confusion. It corrupts the program here. Therefore, keep the word moksha, gnana, kaivalya in the right place. Let us pursue them. But first let us become equipped to even talk about them. And we want now a happy life, not moksha. Who is bothered about moksha, Brahma Gnana and all? Do you think seriously you are into that? Many of us are interested in Veda, Vedanta based on emotional inheritance. You are reading Bhagavad Gita because your tata wanted to read. And your tata asked you sometime, why don't you read Gita? In your lifetime, my dear grandson, in your lifetime, whenever possible, complete Gita. Based on that input of your tata, you are just going through. You are cramming that Gita. One shloka you are not understanding. One shloka has not become the guide for your life. You are just going through. Because my grandmother wished that I must read entire Gita. She could not, therefore I am doing. Do you think that is studying Gita? No. Thus you have picked up certain words. Brahma Nirvana, Moksha. What is that? Simply emotional inheritance. No, you need fresh spirituality for yourself. Gita for yourself, not by the influence of others. Gita for my life. That becomes possible only when you live your life in this way first. Gita could make sense to Arjuna because Arjuna lived authentic life. Therefore, he got confused, and that confusion became the foundation for Gita. Correct or not? Arjuna Vishada. Vishada, there is confusion. The despondency in the form of great confusion. So be with that confusion. Don't worry. Artificial clarity is not going to help you. These artificial flowers are good to look at. They cannot emit fragrance. They cannot attract butterflies. They will not give oxygen, only to look at. So to certain spirituality which we think about and we want to pursue is like this. Only to look at. Should not worry about that. So if you have confusion, no problem. Be with that. Enjoy. Sit with that, no problem. But be authentic. Authentic in recognition of samsara first. This is samsara. I am stuck in a space where nothing actually is urgent, but everything needs doing. And in doing that, I am becoming happy. Any delay and dereliction is coming on my head and it makes me sad. Because I am doing, I am happy. Because of the consequence, I am sad. Unbearable sadness of being happy, this is shoka. This is samsaraha. Try to recognize that in your life. And Swadhyaya is the only thing that will help you cross over this. And Gnana Yajna is the only yajna which causes the incineration of all that confusion. So I want to lead a happy life. What should I do? Should I read some 5 principles on happiness, 5 steps for happiness? Some books are there. As I told you yesterday, A, B, C. A, apps, B, books, C, courses and coaches. No book will help. And these books, they keep coming. Happiness 5 points, 10 points, 12 points, 13 points. Then again 3 points. Don't worry, don't worry. Don't go after them. If you want to be happy, wisdom literature, Swadhyaya. Not self-study, but studying the self with the help of wisdom literature. Point 1. And Gnana Yajna. Committed Swadhyaya becomes Gnana Yajna. So it is the highest form of yajna. Every day, on daily basis, do that yajna. Study the scripture. And Bhagavan clearly tells us in Gita that this is the highest form of yajna, highest form of worship. Don't waste much of your time in so-called shallow rituals. Don't be after them. Atirudra Mahayaga. We are not in requirement Atirudra now. 1 Rudra is enough. If we understand 1 Rudra, it is enough. Don't go after Atirudra and Maharudra and all that. Certain Mahatmas will do. We will also participate. But you do Gnana Yajna. And in one statement, I am going to tell you what exactly is Gnana Yajna. Studying to know, knowing to understand, understanding to live is called Gnana Yajna, is called Swadhyaya. Let us repeat it once. Studying to know. Full stop. No, not full stop. Knowing to, I am knowing to understand it. I want to understand it to live. The sequence, this gradual progression is called Swadhyaya Gnana Yajna. Since yesterday, the last evening and this evening, we did that Gnana Yajna. We have uncovered so many facts that we are in requirement of following. And this is Gnana Yajna which can incinerate our confusion and samsara gradually. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says in 4th chapter, 33rd verse about this. We will chant that and conclude. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Shreyan Dravyamayadyagnat Gnana Yajnah Parantapa Sarvam Karmakhilam Partha Gnane Parisamapyate. This is what Bhagavan says. Shreyan Dravyamayat Yajnat. Yajnas involving so many dravyams, such and such fuel, such and such ahuti, such and such ghee, such and such purodasha. Dravyamayat Yajnat. Gnana Yajna is always supreme among all those yajnas. Because, hey Arjuna, other yajnas promote your karma. Karma phala. It keeps on increasing. But in Gnana Yajna, Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha, all the doing, all the consequence of the doing, everything, Gnane, in Gnana, Parisamapyate, all will be culminated into Gnana. And that Gnana based story is your story. One story. Understand? The pursuit of Gnana is there your story becomes one story. If pursuit of bhoga is there, you have many stories. You will have many stories. After listening to this discourse, one more story gets added. That, okay, I should be like this. One more story begins. Therefore, pursue wisdom with the help of Swadhyaya. This is what I wanted to tell you. As I told you, the topic, the very nature of the topic is highly expansive. But we have understood few things which will certainly help us evolve in appreciating furthermore aspects. We will all pray to Bhagavan to bless us with such a wisdom by the help of which we can understand ourselves as well as we can really understand the divine and finally come to that supreme understanding of non-duality between this self and the divine. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Krupa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.